Hello, hello. Greetings. It's Alicia from Quick and Delish, registered dietitian and chef here, and I wanted to share a couple quick kitchen cooking and meal preparation tips with you. The first one is about maximizing the piece of equipment that you're pulling out. So what I did was I have a Cuisinart, my trusty Cuisinart here, and the bowl part of the Cuisinart's dirty because I made four different sauces or pestos, whatever you want to call them. I'm calling them sauces. Well, pesto is the sauce. Anyway, so I pulled out the Cuisinart and I was like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to make it so that I can make a bunch of stuff? And so what I did was the first thing I did was I shredded some carrots in the Cuisinart. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna make some salad. So I'm just gonna have a container of shredded carrot in the refrigerator so I can like just throw some carrots in the salad because I got a head of lettuce. I'm gonna have a salad for dinner tonight. And I'll tell you what I'm gonna have and show you how I'm gonna flavor it. So I got some shredded carrots. And then I was like, okay, so I had some fresh basil that I needed to use. And then when I went to the store, I got some garlic. And there's a store near me that sells really fresh, awesome, good quality peeled garlic, no blemishes. A lot of times at grocery stores, there's the garlic's like cryovac in these little packets, and it's just not fresh. It kind of bums me out. So I made four different sauces in the Cuisinart after I made the carrots. Okay, so with the basil, I made a basil sauce, and this is garlic. So I chopped up all of the garlic I had. So I basically had like the equivalent of half of a cup of minced garlic. So that was in the Cuisinart. So garlic. I took out the garlic. So I have extra garlic here. I have a quarter cup of garlic unused. So I only used a quarter cup of garlic with these four sauces. So I plan to use this for lentil soup and some beans today or tomorrow. And if I don't use the garlic tomorrow, I'm going to freeze it because I'm probably not going to be cooking again formally until Friday. Okay, cool. And today is Sunday, just to give you a little context to my days. Okay, so this is basil, lemon juice, olive oil, garlic, salt, pepper, and that's it. So I took out half of that mixture with the basil and I left the other half in the bowl of the Cuisinart, and I added fresh ginger that I minced. I just peeled off the outside and then minced it real quick. Added it to the Cuisinart, and then I added some hemp seeds. Somewhere I have hemp seeds. My hemp seeds for like a nut to make a pesto. So this one's thicker, so it's more pesto-like. But this has ginger in it. I'll tell you how I'm going to use these sauces in a minute. Okay, and then the third one, I took some of my garlic. I added it to the bowl. I didn't clean the bowl after I did the basil because I'm just going to transition to cilantro anyway. So I added some garlic to the bowl of the Cuisinart, and then I added a bunch of cilantro. Most of the cilantro bunch was awesome, and I just didn't use those tough like stems towards the end. I used most of the rest of the bunch though. And then, so one bunch of cilantro, probably like 6 to 8 cloves of garlic that was already minced. And then I added some lemon juice, salt, pepper, olive oil. That was that. So that's a super simple sauce, but it's cilantro instead of basil. And then the last sauce that I made, this one's really delicious. This one, I added fresh ginger to this one. So this is cilantro, garlic, lemon juice, olive oil, salt, pepper, and fresh ginger. This one I took the Cuisinart bowl and I was scraping all the bits and I was eating the bits that you can't get from the bowl. It's like it's gonna go in the washing machine. I mean, not the washing machine. I don't have a dishwasher, but it's gonna get washed and it's just gonna go down the drain. So I was like scraping as much of the sauce off and eating it because it was so good. When something's that good, like don't want it to go away. I'm very happy about the cilantro and ginger one. Okay, so a couple recipes or ideas for recipes that I would use these sauces would be in my turkey burger recipe for flavor. Look on my channel for the zesty turkey sliders recipe. That recipe could also be turned into turkey burgers, or use whatever meat you want. Or you could add it to my Thai style meatballs, or any kind of meatball, like ground meat, salt, pepper, and then add one of these, and then just form them into meatballs and then roast them. That's all you need, is like some flavor to add to the meat or whatever you're cooking. This would be great to add to tofu scramble, or tonight I'm gonna have a salad, so I'm gonna use it to make a salad dressing for my salad. So I don't know, I'm probably gonna use my new favorite one. I'm probably gonna use the cilantro, ginger, lemon, and olive oil, salt, pepper. So I'll just add some, and then if I need to add a little bit more acid, like some vinegar, probably some cider vinegar maybe, and then maybe a little bit of olive oil as well, for to toss the salad well with some flavor. So that's exactly how I'm gonna add flavor to my salad. So I'm super stoked to share this idea with you about these super simple sauces and maximizing the use of a Cuisinart or a Vitamix when you pull it out, or whatever your blender is. Everybody has different blenders. It's just mostly ideal to have a high power blender. It doesn't matter if it's a Vitamix, but a high power blender is really awesome and helpful. And I wanted to show you another way that I added flavor to my sweet potatoes is I added 3 different types of paprika. So I just roasted these. I have, here, I'll show you. I was looking in my pantry and I was like, oh my goodness, I need to use these paprikas. So I still have my baby spoon. It's handy sometimes for portioning paprika or eating ice cream, because then you savor it. You eat it more slowly. That's mindful eating. Baby spoon helps with mindful eating. Okay, so yeah, the baby spoon works really good for paprika. So these are sweet, smoky, and hot, spicy paprika. So I add a spoonful of each to my sweet potatoes, salt, pepper, olive oil, and then roast them at 350. I usually roast the sweet potatoes with paprika at a lower temperature because they tend to get really dark, and I really don't, I want them to get caramelized, but I don't want them to get too dark. And those are delicious, and they're going to be really great with the cilantro sauce, or any of these would be great. I'm actually going to add the cilantro sauce to some beans. I reheated some beans that I froze, and I'm going to add these beans to my salad. Once I add the cilantro dressing, carrots, some peach chunks. This is a fresh peach, half of a fresh peach, and then some sunflower sprouts. I'm about to make salad. I didn't have time to clean the lettuce and show you how to make a salad. But the last thing I wanted to show you really quickly, I just remembered recently that I'm sure I'm not the only one that came up with this idea, but I figured out a way to cut broccoli in a way that was less messy. Because broccoli, the tops here, the little flowers, they kind of rip apart and make your cutting board really messy. And that's not like a bad thing, but like you lose broccoli to the cutting board, and that's not cool. So check this out. So I have 2 crowns right here. So instead of doing some other kind of method, what I like to do is just don't cut all the way through. So I just did 3 cuts, and then I turned it around, and then 3 cuts. And then what I do is you could cut this in half if you wanted. I just pull the pieces apart. So this makes it so that some younger kids could do, like the older kid could do the cutting part, and then the younger kid could do the ripping apart part. The ripping apart is actually very fun. And then Yeah, you just rip it apart. Rip it apart. Okay, so it's just, so I cut the end of this and put it in the compost because it was a dry end. And so there's 3 cuts one way, and some florets will fall off. 3 cuts this way. Sometimes, depending on how thick your stem is, you could do more cuts. And there you have it. You could say I'm using my channel as a way, an accountability to do meal prep. You should have a channel too if it helps you do meal prep. So if you have a piece like this, you could just, I would just cut it with a knife. I was gonna cut it, yeah. Anyway, there you have it. I have 2 crowns of broccoli cut cut apart really easily. If you like your pieces smaller, then cut them smaller. I like my frozen broccoli smaller, but I like my fresh broccoli in larger pieces, mostly because I don't like cutting broccoli in small pieces. So the stems are really sweet. Don't throw away the stems. You can cut off the outside thick fibrous, the outer fibrous layer. It's not really a skin. I guess it's a skin. It's the outer fibrous layer. And then the inside of the stem is sweet and delicious and crunchy. So I shared with you, or I encourage you to maximize on your use of kitchen equipment when you can. I'm going to freeze 3 of these jars, and then one of these jars, this one is going to be the cilantro, ginger, lemon, garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper one is going to be the one that I use this week to flavor my meals. And then I'm going to label these so I remember which one's which, because I won't remember. If it's not labeled, I won't remember what it is. I'll be like, how long has that been in there? It needs to be labeled. So I'm going to freeze these 3, label them like cilantro, ginger, basil and ginger. I do want to say, like, these are all very garlicky, and garlic sometimes reminds you that you ate it. So be mindful of how much garlic you actually add, because some people don't really like a lot of garlic. So just be mindful of that. And like if you're using it for an intense flavor, that's fine. Just don't add as much. But if you're using it um, if you're using it to add to pasta directly, then you might need to add more basil or add other flavors to reduce the garlic flavor. Because garlic is awesome, but too much can be too much. You know, like you brush your teeth at the end of the day and then you're like, I ate a lot of garlic today. Just another suggestion, because I don't know about you, but I don't like marrying garlic. I like to eat it and then have it like go away. So that's it from me. This is Alicia from Quick and Delish. I hope you're having a fabulous summer. And let me know if you loved any of these flavorful ideas or the way to cut broccoli. I hope you try this broccoli cutting strategy with your family or on your own, whatever. And I'll see you next time. That's it from me. Take care until next time. Toodaloo.